Hello everybody, this is Ricky, and today I will teach you how to make a VCR uh, that has multiple tapes, and also it's really functioning. It doesn't really have much code, and it works both for keyboard and gamepad if you have it. Um, so let's get into it. Hold on, let me. Okay. So, geez, this will be the result. I didn't know what that lag was, but you place this one, it will load, it will change the material or also load the event. Then if you place this one into the VCR, this one will do its own event, and then the last one. You can just put as many of them as you want. It doesn't really change. And I also mentioned that you can do it with your gamepad. So I will unplug my microphone because something has got to go and connect my gamepad. But it will work just fine. I tested it before. Um, so yeah, let's get into it. I started by positioning everything in the VV blueprint. Then, so the TV, I'll just add static mesh and select that one from the pack or yours if you don't want to use my what I did. There is also the VCR, which it has this and its tiny door, which it doesn't have a really good pivot point. So I would suggest that you use a spring arm because it will be handy for the animations. Then once you position that, you can see that this is different, but does have the same output because you can just see here in the details that you can move them whatever you want. I don't know why it doesn't. Sometimes Unreal has some bad bugs, but you can see I'm moving that. It doesn't change really anything. So you don't need to worry about moving that as long as you do it here. And I found some errors for the axis if you move the recorder. So um I I would suggest that you put it on just move it around and don't rotate it. So I then proceeded to make a BPI event. Just go here, right click, a blueprint, and blueprint interface. You will call it interactive API and then add a new function and call it interaction. That's great. Now, what I did is make the tape. It was one at first. Then I saw a comment that said make multiple ones, and I did that. So I made the tape. I proceeded to go to class settings and implemented interfaces. I added the interface we just created. Then I clicked here and it opened. So it won't open like this because at first it had an output too. but it will come just as a normal event. Don't worry about it. The output will come the same. So I added a do once. I made a Boolean variable and checked it. By default, it's unchecked. So the logic just works fine. Then the static mesh itself will be non-visible once it's touched by the player. So it also comes with proportions, so they're not really accurate. I use this for the tape, and they come like this, the scale, and also for the TV and VCR and the tiny door. You can just copy those values. Uh, you can approximate them, of course, to maybe 0.3. It will be more. It will be better. Uh, so once you did the event, the interface, and have done all this code, you can close this because there's nothing else to do. So you'll have to place the static mesh. We'll go to the first person character, and this is where the event will be triggered. So I talked first about functioning both for keyboard and for your gamepad. So go to Edit, Project Settings, then Input, then add an action mapping and call it whatever you like. I called it interaction keys. So you can just add a plus here and then use your interaction key. I use left mouse button. You can use also your gamepad, but it's really handy because you can add however you want, and there are options for the Steam Deck too if you guys are interested. Then we are going back here, line trace. This is self-explanatory. The Put it as 300 is pretty good. It's for the length of your characters, of what your character can touch, basically. Then after return value, get a branch, out hit, then hit actor. You'll write does implement interface and return it on an if value. And if it's true, it will call the interaction event. Also, the interaction needs this reference, or else it won't work. It will give an error. That's great. Once you did that, it's you have your own tape too, and you can just duplicate them for as much tape as you got. And now, uh, now you will you will create your own TV and VCR blueprint, and also create an enumeration for the number of tapes you got. Just right click, go to blueprints and enumeration, and then call it tapes. Then add an enumeration for the number of tapes you got. In my case, they are 3. And go here, add here, go to class settings and implement the interface as you did with the tapes, because it will start basically by when the player has the tape and calls the interaction function. So we start off by here. The interaction will make a sequence which will cast to every tape you got. So get allocators of class, tape 1, 2, and 3, maybe 4, 5, 6, 7, 10, whatever you got. Then once you promote it to variable, here you can promote to variable. You will get has tape and then create a new variable and set it here. This variable, for example, was created in this blueprint. I then chose to set it, and it will be connected over here. Great. Now do an if function, and then of the true, you will you will set the tapes to be tape one. You don't need to print strings there for debugging. For example, the past couple of days have been hell because I've been fixing a lot of bugs, and I simplified the code by on a 50%, and it was already short, so don't worry. And then you will need to create an event. Just simply add custom event and call it whatever you like. This will be your custom event, and it will shoot all the code. So now uh, you will of this custom event, you will switch on the enum you created, and this you will create a new variable, call it your enum function, and go here and type your function name. This is tapes here, so I will write tapes, and here it goes. Then you will get it. I just there's a short key, control, and then drag it. Then of this value here, you will switch on tapes. Then basically on the number of tapes you got. Um, there's also this child actor that you will need to set. This child actor, what it is basically, sorry if I didn't explain it. Um, it's basically the tape which is inside the VCR. It's also by default invisible, so just untick this here. What a child actor is basically an actor inside an actor. So it's basically this tape, the tape, this tape for as a basis, but it will change the based on the switch function. So tape one will choose the actor tape one. Tape two will choose this one, and tape three uses this one. It's handy because it will change the mesh too, so it's doesn't come off as messy or anything. So off of this one, we will connect all this one into one and set the visibility to visible because it was not visible at first. So off of this one, you will add a timeline which has the length of 0.25. You shift click here and put the value on 0 and 0 and times 0 value 0, and then 0.25 of time and value of 1. Once you did everything, you close it and then update, set relative rotation, um, the spring arm, which I said it's a good pivot point. So it will do this rotation. It will rotate by uh, by 90 degrees, by minus 90 degrees, sorry. Then when it's finished, it will put the tape in. This will be the animation of inserting the tape, basically when the tape slides inside the VCR. So the timeline, also, okay. For this, I added a timeline, and then I collapsed the nodes and call it whatever you like. So, and then you just plug this in and it will create a new node like this, play. So the input will come as play from start because it will, if you go with play, it when the other times you put the tape in, it won't work. The timeline won't work. So it will always reset if you play from the start. So when you update, you will set the relative location of the child actor to move, slide inside the VCR, so the x-axis from 21 to a value of 8. Then the tiny door will open. Uh, no, this is the closing. I'm sorry. It the tiny door will close. Indeed, it sounded weird. So, uh, I have this thing of calling the animations opening. So, sorry. So, this a timeline has the length of 0.25. You shift click, add a time of 0 and value of 0. Then you shift click here, 0.25 and the value of 1. Also, if you're curious of understanding how they are like this and not like a straight line, I just right click and use user. It will create a curve. It will make the animation more smooth. I'm sorry if I didn't say that before. I thought of saying that, but then I forgot. Okay. Then of this one, you can see here that it will, from the value of first, it will come to 0. So the value you had before here, so to minus 90, will be at the start here, and then the 0, which is the starting point of the first opening animation. So the finished, when it's finished, the animation, it will load the footage. It's just another custom event. You know how to add it. I explained it before. So load footage. You will switch on tapes again. Then this is where all the events happen. For this, for showing purposes, I set the material to some random materials I had in the starter content or my own. So I plug this into the different um, slots we have. So for a chronological order, I'd suggest that tape 1 will be the last, because it has a bug, which if you pick the tape 1 first, the other ones don't load. I think it's unfixable, because it's I didn't find a solution. I've been looking for a day for this solution. But it's really simplified this code, and I'm afraid that there isn't really a solution for that. So just use tape 3 first. Maybe use the events in the game that will help you to find tape 3, then 2, and then tape 1 as your last tape in the game. So these are delays. They will last as long as a movie will last in the screen. So just the delay is in seconds, of course. Then once it's done, you will set the variable has tape to false, and then add another custom event, and this will be eject tape animation. This is called. So if I click here, it will bring me here. Eject tape animation. The material of the TV will be set to static once again. Also, keep in mind that the element index is set to 1, because if it's set to 0, it will change this material. And that's not what we want. It will, if it's changed here, it will change basically the entire TV, but not the screen. The element 1 will change the screen. And the element 2, it was a mistake, don't look at that. But the element index 1 is what we're looking for. So grab a sequence. You can just left click and click S. That's a short key. Then from play from start, you will add another timeline. Then set relative rotation, sorry. And then the tiny door will open by the other way, that not by minus 90 degrees, because the tape is coming out. It's basically giving the illusion that the tape is pushing out. So the tape will come out when this event is playing, and look at the timelines. They are okay. I I forgot to delete this. Okay, so look at the timelines. They are just do the same thing, 0 and 0 and 0.25 and 1. Then the tape will come out, and it has the duration of 1.75, 0, 0, and then 1.20, 1.75, and 1. Okay. Then everything is basically done and said. Uh, is it really everything? Jesus. Let me check. So the tapes, I've explained it. Yes. Okay. I think I explained everything. Oh, for this is the static material. I will show you how to create that. It's really fun to do. So you grab a static image that needs to be seamless. It's written like this, seamless, and you will um, create a material. You just uh, you just right click, no, right click, then material, and call it whatever you like. For this texture, what I did is use a roughness map to make the illusion of, you see this shades, it's basically the illusion of glass. And also, uh, this is, to make this move, I used the texture sample from the UVs, the panner node, P-A-N-N-R-E-R, sorry. And then this, you can just modify however you want. So there, you just, once you're done, you save and close. Make sure to always save. And so guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. It basically lasted an hour less than the last one I've made. I'm really happy that I've learned from my experience and simplified this code by maybe a 75%, and I hope you guys like it. I've tried to reach out to every single one of you guys and get as much criticism as possible, and um, some function we will add. Also, if you will add an inventory system to this, it will be great. And I would also love to see what you guys come up with, the base I gave you. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure to give a like, and I'm really happy of making those videos because I can help people, and that's what I like to do. And I hope you guys have a good one. Bye now.